Life is good, 13. 13 love to y'all. You are creation 13. Today I want to discuss not only a test that I went through, but to have you recognize just how much in control you are in your reality, um, and what happens in your reality. Um, but this trial and test for me was quite an interesting one. It really was, and and how easily you can be manipulated in certain aspects of things, based upon maybe your fears that may still be dwelling inside you. Because, like I said, that the last 2 weeks or so of December was all about digging deep within yourself and getting rid of the rest of the garbage that may still be inside yourself. Because, like I always say, everything within reflects without. So anything that may be buried inside is going to be reflected without. Um, so I had to discover this very important lesson, and that was um, that you're always in control of your path. No one can control you, and no one can um, persuade you into not realizing this, unless if you have no, you're not living by your heart, you're just leading astray into somebody else's path and choices and decisions, um, and that can happen. I had to observe an individual and just really see what was going on, because um, there are so many things that were going on that were confused to me. And I know this probably doesn't really make sense, um, because I don't want to give any energy or harness any energy to my test that has already passed. Because you got to realize that once you pass the test, you got to keep moving on. And I talked to a good friend, Ryan Conscious, yesterday. It was a really good conversation, and if you're watching, I look forward to our future talks together. But I kept mentioning my test, and it was just because I was trying to get rid of the rest of it. Because one of the things is once you make a decision on things, like say if you decide to join your path together with somebody, right? You're telling the universe, all right, you're pairing up together, so you're going to experience a reality together, right? But your focus and intent needs to be in that same path, right? And with myself, I always go by my heart. I always go by my heart. And I knew that this person that was sharing my path had some key things that I needed on my path, let alone it was a test for myself. So when you share a path, you need to become aware of who is leading the path. Who is leading the path. And if you're aware of it, you are always a leader of your path. Even if you want to follow someone, you're still leading your own path. Therefore, sharing a linked path together. And the thing is it's, I don't know how to put that into words. it's becoming aware of, if you're not totally in control of your path, it could end up transforming into something that you weren't wanting to experience in the first place. This is why you want to be on your path at all times and be the leader of your path. Now, this doesn't mean that that people may still be sharing your path. That's fine, but just make sure that you're still leading and going by your heart, that you're not forcing people to go by what you want your will and intent to be, and always make sure that you show, divine love towards people who may be sharing your experiences. Never, never force yourself, on people. Never force what you want to see happen in your reality. That's not of anything. That's not of the divine purpose. Um, you know, of your heart. The mind can play so much mind games. The mind is a prison, and I'm gonna make a video about that. I probably made one previously, but I'll go more into depth of that. But the mind can be your own doom and imprisonment, that can keep you away from your heart. And your heart is always divine, unconditional love. The many kind of steps further from, the mind and the ego. The mind and the ego can imprison an individual's consciousness stream and soul so very easily. And if any being, because we are breaking past the concepts of right and wrong, of light beings and dark beings, it breaks all. We are moving away from the old programs and the old matrix systems. We are transforming ourselves into our heart space, and we are starting to experience our heart space. And our heart space is creation, and we create constantly, and we create a lot more than what we even perceive. But we're gonna be coming aware and realizing, just how much we create things, and just how much we are in control. So one of the main tests, the tests that I came through, is don't allow anybody to persuade you into thinking their reality is your reality, or that they are in control and they're going to rule over you, because you only rule over your own reality. Um, Many parallel worlds, many parallel dimensions. Then you talk about the multi-dimensional you, and so on and so forth. It's always expanding, and you have to look beyond a physical view as well, because there's a physical, multi-dimensional aspect of yourself, and then the many worlds, and so on and so forth. But you also have to interlink them together with the spiritual being and essence of yourself, which is connected to your heart space, which also connects to many different wave frequencies and bandwidths, or high vibration, low vibration, so on and so forth. It's different frequencies of what you want to experience and explore. And that also, I'll make another video. I'm going to try to make these videos shorter, so you're not having to sit here for 20 minutes or so. But anyways, make a short story short. It's always going back to your heart space and living in your heart space and dwelling inside your heart space. Just because there's stories that are foretold on this earth or any planet that you may experience, there's always going to be a story, but it's the story within the stories that leads you to, you know, self-discovery of self, because it's always inside yourself. You're looking for the answers within yourself, within. If you get answers outside yourself, it's because it's trying to help you wake up and go back within yourself, so then you can start reflecting your heart space out, reflecting and creating with your heart space, you know, flowing out. That's what you want. You want to flow out your heart space, you know, and get rid of all the mind and the ego that has created um, the current reality. So hopefully this video makes sense. Uh, it can be complicated sometimes, you know, trying to explain this stuff, but yeah, don't persuade yourself into believing or following someone, or even, you know, or whether they say they're Messiah, or, you know, it could even go supernaturally, um, you know, with the story of the Bible and stuff. You know, it says that there can be um, people that can show miraculous signs, you know. That still doesn't, you know, should make you persuade you into following somebody. You know, we're all going to start manifesting what we want. So we are all going to be creating something great, and some of us may be um, advancing in our awareness quicker. So we could be looked at as creating something great, but you want to make sure that people understand that it's not, and that we are um, awesome beings. You know, it's just that we need to teach them that they can also be just as great, if anything, even more greater than what we can show and share. So it's still going to be a test. I was trying to figure out like how I can kind of explain what I was showed with my guys, and basically it's, we are, I wouldn't say polarity, but in a way it is, because we're in like it's basically is the fourth dimension. Like, you know, we can be in a fifth positive perception right now, but you got to realize that our body, our physical body and spiritual body, is still transitioning through to where we want to be, because eventually we are going to be on the true 5D Earth. It's quite complicated, but basically the fourth dimension can be a polarity dimension, because we're going to start realizing that we are manifesting things a lot faster than we're even aware of, and our heart spaces are starting to run things more and more and more and more. This is why you want to make sure you get rid of as much negative stuff out of you, fears. One of the most important things to get rid of during this time, because you do not want any fear in the fourth dimension, because it will just start manifesting and surrounding you more and more and more and more. And then with fourth dimensional guardians or so on and so forth, can try to persuade you into doing something that your heart space doesn't want you to do. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and end this video on that. Like I said, hopefully it makes sense. If you got questions, let me know. But yeah, always live in the heart space. Always live in the heart space. Very important. And remember, you are the leader of your path. No one else leads you but you. So anyway, so namaste. 13 love to y'all. If you got questions, let me know. Laketch. Talk to you in a little bit.